All right, Ian, this was alerted on Twitter, and it's strange to see this. I'm not shocked to see this. It was an eBay listing. This isn't a Scumbag Seller of the Week, potentially, but it's an eBay listed for a factory sealed Final Fantasy II. You're probably saying, well, Final Fantasy II came out, right? Well, Ian, this was...
it didn't come out here.
Well, I mean, like, a Final Fantasy II came out on the Super Nintendo. Yes. But this is a Final Fantasy II, a reproduction, unauthorized reproduction of the U.S. prototype that was made by Time Walk Games. The box was, reproduction box. So Wata, I guess, and this is a Wata grade 9.6. So Wata, I guess, certifies and grades reproduction games. And I'm not sure how to feel about something like this when I see that.
I don't feel anything negative about it, to be honest with you. It's not... Wata's just doing Wata stuff. They're just grading. I mean, Final Fantasy II never came out over here. So it's not like it's a repro of a game that was readily available. It's not like they're doing a repro of Dinosaur Peak.
Sure.
Fan translation released here. Legal to release it? No, but that's not Wata's problem. If collectors... this is something that it's strange to me to see it graded, and it's strange to me to see it sold. It's just strange. But when I think about it and look at it, I don't think there's anything wrong with Wata grading it. If someone wants to, if they grade Nintendo cartridges and Nintendo boxes, and this person has one, they can grade it by using the same principles that they grade other stuff.
Sure, I totally get that, and that's valid. But when you actually say it's certified, what are you certifying? You're certifying that it's a reproduction. I guess if it's not
from that run is the only thing I would say, and then I don't know how they're doing that. But the certification part, I don't know what that really means. But the grading of it, I have no problems with that. Honestly, fine, grade it.
You don't think this is a slippery slope potentially for what if you start grading, again, this is not legal to sell this, or to produce this, obviously, off of a game that never came out, and it's not authorized by anyone. But you don't think this could lead into, I don't know, this isn't technically a counterfeit of something since it didn't come out here, but what if there's like a really nice counterfeit run of something, or do you like those Turbo PC Engine CD ones that look really great? And if you blink, you can confuse them with the real deal. Some of those CD reproductions.
The truth of the matter is, I'm generally not a fan of those. As a matter of fact, I'm very much against those re-releases.
Sure, but they're nice packages.
They're very nice.
They're well produced.
I'm just against the people making all the money off of those games. But they're gorgeous. They're very pretty. They're very nice box sets. Anyways, again, I don't know that I would care if Wata graded it, because Wata's not the one taking ROMs and
sure. Do you think they should have a policy of what they will or will not accept? That's like, again, this is why I
think that's very tough. I think it's tough to say, and I mean,
this is why I don't like it, because it's not just about Wata themselves and whether or not they can make money grading this. And I'm not actually placing the blame on Wata for taking this in. To me, this reopens up that weird Pandora's box in a weird way about. Now we have a game that normally, I don't know what the hell something like this would normally go for, this unauthorized repro.
Yeah, I can't.
But now we go back to the territory of let's make money off of other people's obviously work that we didn't get the rights to do it. But now we enter that period again where you have people maybe thinking of overvaluing the prototypes again. When we just got to the point of, well, now a lot of these are coming out for free. They're not held for hostage anymore. But, I had a conversation with
These are reasons why I don't like grading, though. This goes back to why I don't like grading.
Okay.
This goes back to why I don't like grading and why I don't like graded games, and I don't like what it necessarily does to I don't like what it does to the hobby. But I'm just trying to look at this as a pure service offered in exchange for money. If it fits the dimensions and they can use the same if they can use the same tactics to grade it.
Sure. The same rules. The same rule book, same grading
rules
system.
To grade it, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It'd be like if we found like a really... I'm sure there are examples of something similar in comic books. I'm sure.
Of counterfeits or
of counterfeits or weird shit or something like that, or reproductions being graded.
Well, most of the reproductions from I know that like they would come out with like Amazing Fantasy 15 years later in Germany, but those were still, I think, authorized. I don't think they were counterfeit. I'm trying to think of an example.
I get it, but I don't know. I'm trying in as many ways as I can to say that I don't get why people would do this. I don't like what it does to the hobby necessarily, but I don't blame Wata for doing it because they can use their existing skill set for doing it. And I
think it's a slippery slope. I think there's a lot of harm that can come out of this. Again, I'm not putting the blame on
again,
Wata.
I think the harm comes out of collecting, not this specific.
But this is what I see, because I had a conversation with a vendor who I didn't get in their face, but I was like, listen, I don't think it's cool. They were selling, the repro of the NES SimCity game, with the box and everything. I said, listen, you guys, the reason why, I personally know the guy that put out thousands of dollars to enable you to sell that game, and that's why it annoys me.
Sure.
So once you go to that next step of grading that stuff, it's not good for game preservation on some levels.
Sure.
Not on the surface, and you start monetizing something to a hyper extent that you should not have been able to monetize in the first place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair. But like I said, I think that just goes.
That's
back
not on Wata itself.
I think that just goes back to my problems with the collector market in general.
Sure.
Like I said, this isn't like this is very different than the prototype thing that we gave them some shit for.
Well, sure.
This is very this. I mean that.
But
I just don't. Whatever.
But let's call this what it is. They have graded a commercially illegal product.
Sure.
I think that's to me personally, that's where I think the line should be. We should not grade something that you could not put legally in a retail store. That's just what I think about it. Maybe you can say, Pat, you're too much of a curmudgeon when it comes to this. That's where I think the line should be.
See, it's not all about retail, though. Some of these people just want that.
No. I'm just telling you, that's to me what my line should be. Could this be a product that could get me in trouble selling in general? Then I should not be grading this.
Sure, but Wata's not selling.
But they're providing a service to help you sell it. They're in the chain.
You could just put it on your shelf.
The same reason that eBay shouldn't be allowing this to be sold. They're part of the chain.
I agree with eBay. I don't agree with Wata grading something. Looking at it and going, by our best bets,
okay,
we're gonna say this is a 9.6.
Okay, I'm more of the hardcore right.
We're looking at cardboard in plastic, and they need to tell someone what condition it's in.
Okay.
And then again, this also is in a perfect world where a grading body is a truly impartial entity, and they never are. So there's always, and that's not a knock on Wata. That's everything. Okay. But I really don't think passing a judgment on the condition of something, regardless of how legal or illegal it is to own or sell it, is
okay. I think you're helping legitimize an illegal market by doing this. You're helping. You're contributing to it. You are.
I helped legitimize the drug market all through high school. I'm fine.
No, but that's not being sold on eBay. That's not, unless you were trying to get away with your strips on eBay. That's all I'm saying.
I see what you're saying, but I don't have. There are other things. Maybe in a different time frame, I would care more about this, but I just don't give a fuck right now.
Okay.
It's Corona times, man. I don't give a shit about this.
It's not the beer.
Not the beer.
I had to blank that out now with the frog sound or something.
Oh well.
A certain. Okay.